Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. For this week, we are going to move to a discussion of one of the most important works in English literature, Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. You probably had some familiarity with this. You may have even had to memorize parts of it. I know that that's been on high school curriculums off and on for quite a while. But it is a fascinating and wonderful text. And what we're going to talk about in it is the way that Chaucer doesn't just present characters or ideas, but that he uses the characters to develop some of the larger critical points that he wants to make about society. I think it's too far to say that Chaucer's doing pure satire, but I think the ways that he's using the text indicate ideas that he has about how society is being run and different skeptical points that he might challenge people on, specifically regarding those people that are in positions of power. You want to think about that in terms of what people are supposed to do with the power that they've been given. And so watch how Chaucer develops that specifically in the prologue, and that's what we're going to be reading this week. Now, I recognize that we are shifting into a new language territory and to some degree, because everything that we've read to this point has been available for you in translation. The text of Chaucer is not. It is in Middle English. And so the suggestion that I have for you is read the words as they look and make the sounds as they appear. And most often you'll be able to make the connection that you need to the word that you're trying to say. That's the way that the language develops, and that's why we have it in Middle English, because it is good for us to see the history of our language and how it develops with these little pieces. The text also has glosses for you that will define some specific words that may be difficult to understand as you're reading through it. So just try reading it aloud. I really don't mind if you grab a translation to help you as you're unpacking this. We're only doing the prologue this week, and we're going to take a look at the Miller's Tale next week. So I'm not opposed to you using that. I do want to ask you to only use the text in Middle English for your quotes, because we want to let the text speak for itself. And if you're quoting a translation that already includes some decisions, and then it kind of gets away from the text itself. Now, sometimes we have to do that. Obviously, when we have a language we don't understand, or that's a lot more difficult to understand, like Old English, that's part of the process. But in this case, we need to at least try the process and let the text speak for itself as you're writing. The discussion board post is different this week, and you'll see a video that talks more about Chaucer and the Canterbury Tales, but also what this discussion board post is asking you to do in comparing two of the characters. And so make sure you watch that video, the lecture video, that has a lot of good information about how you can approach this specific assignment. It will make sense to you, perhaps this week more than any other week, to start early. So today is Monday. Let's get rolling on that reading so that you can understand it. And the discussion board notes will help you along with the process in terms of organizing your thoughts and keep bringing these ideas together. One thing to say in particular, and the video will address this as well, is be analytical in your writing, not just descriptive. So take me as a reader, or the other students in this class as a reader, on the journey that you're wanting us to focus on. In other words, don't just list out things and expect that we're making those connections. Make the connection for us by showing how all of this works together. The best way to do that is to follow the SEAL method. Start your post with the point that you want to prove, and then show and walk through your analysis, right? So the introduction, the introductory statement is, this is what I'm going to prove. Then you prove it. And then the conclusion is in some way, this is how I proved it, or this is what I proved. And that way, that general format will help you stay in better control of your information. It'll also keep your writing from reading a bit like a list of ideas as you're coming through. So I hope that's helpful for you, and I hope these videos are helpful for you. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to send me an email. Oftentimes I can answer your question immediately. Sometimes it may take me a little while. And sometimes I might ask you some questions back and say, okay, but could you give me some more details, or tell me more specifically where you're struggling? Because I want to help you with this stuff. I know that an online environment's tough in terms of our interaction. We don't get the same level of interaction as we would in a face-to-face class. but I am here to help you. And I want to offer my services as well by meeting via Zoom call or whatever online format you'd like. I'm happy to arrange if you want to set up some times. Just tell me when you are available, and I will do my best to make it work. And I bet we can figure something out. So thanks. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.